What is in the bill that gives billionaires tax cuts? I'm not talking about cuts across the board that are already in place. Which tax cut is for billionaires? There aren't any. Does anybody know what happened on July 2nd, 1776? That's when the Declaration was actually approved. Hello! July 4th is when they got most of the signatures. Now, how do I know that? Well, number one, it's a fact. But years ago, I was an intern at the Ford White House through a program at Georgetown. I've never told you guys this. Why? Because nobody cares. Anyway, so I was. And back then I was a Reagan supporter. And they knew it. But because I was in this scholar program at Georgetown, I was an intern at the White House. And one of the things I was doing is doing research for speeches that Ford was giving for the bicentennial back then, 1776 and 1976. And so I literally had on the phone, in order to make sure I was 100% right, the archivist of the United States, I forget what they call him, the director of the Smithsonian. If the titles are wrong, they're wrong, but the top dogs, and the director of Independence Hall. Independence Hall, Smithsonian, archivist. And to listen to them discussing what day it occurred, not only what day, what time it occurred, was so fascinating to me. I don't know if I still have the notes I took. I took the notes so President Ford would have the accurate information. But that's when I learned it was July 2nd. And they got a lot of the signatures subsequent to that, but it was actually approved on July 2nd. Now try that one over dinner. People, okay, great, pass the chocolate cake. This guy's just, you know what I mean? It's very interesting to me. Go.
They hate this country. There's so many different ways to have a 4th of July address.
Look at the drama. Look like they're really upset. Do you know what I mean? Like they're really upset. Look at it. It's just unbelievable here. He said he hates Democrats. Nobody hates Democrats. No. Of course, he's talking about the Democrats in Washington who are loathsome, who should be hated. No. We hate ICE. That's right. We hate Trump. We hate Clarence Thomas. We have our own militia. That's right. We got all the illegal aliens, the Islamists, the Marxists. We've got the BLM, ABC, EFG. We got the whole thing going on. And they hate Democrats. On July 4th. Of all dates, July 4th. Go ahead.
That was...
And it's just shocking. The president's remarks talking about how he hates Democrats for voting against this bill. It's just, again, I find
so what's he got? 2 Democrat stooges from the House. He hates Democrats? Oh my God, we've never heard of anything like this. You mean all the neo-Nazis who elected him, and the fact that his German is getting more and more pronounced when he speaks? Yes. Can you imagine that? Go ahead.
Pretty remarkable, because I know you talked to a lot of Republicans behind the scenes. They hated this bill too.
Well, actually, a lot of them didn't hate the bill, Joe. Almost all of them voted for it. And he said that Democrats hate America, as I recall is what he said. And of course, it's true. We can prove that. I wrote a whole book on it. It's actually the thickest book I've ever written. And it could have been 5 times as thick. The examples are numerous, if not infinite. Go ahead.
They didn't want the national debt to go up by $20 trillion.
See, the Democrat at the bottom on the right there, he can barely contain his laughter. He said, "God, this is like the stupidest thing I've ever." It's good though. Let's attack Trump. And the dummy's from Massachusetts at the bottom there. He's a veteran too. Not a dummy because he's a veteran. He's a dummy in spite of the fact that he's a veteran. Go ahead.
They didn't want rural health care slashed to the extent that rural health care is going to be slashed. They didn't want that to happen.
They set up a $50 billion fund to take care of rural health care and other health care. See, we spend trillions on health care. The federal government spends an enormous amount. It's never enough. It's never enough. Go ahead.
while billionaires and multinational corporations and people that run monopolies in Silicon Valley were getting the biggest tax cuts of their life?
Exactly what tax cut did they get? I've asked this question of everyone. What is in the bill that gives billionaires tax cuts? I'm not talking about cuts across the board that are already in place. Which tax cut is for billionaires? There aren't any. How come there's not a single media person that actually has an interaction with people like this? We can't because they don't like me. But they hate, wait a minute. They hate me. Wait a minute. And so I hate that. They hate me. I hate them. See what I mean? Go ahead.
While middle class and working class people in your district were struggling, again, a lot of reasons to vote against this bill other than not liking America. Talk about it.
Yeah, no, you're right. And as you said, Joe, two to one Americans are against this bill. 2 to 1
Americans don't know what the hell is in the bill because the Democrats are out there saying, you're going to lose your lives. You're going to be dead. You're going to lose your health care. It's a tax cut for billionaires. And they're, do you like this bill? And if it's killing people, I lose my health care and it's a tax cut. No, I don't like it. See, 2 to 1. 2 to 1. God. Go ahead.
So does that mean that Trump hates 2 Americans for every one?
This guy. Got to be a rocket scientist. Go ahead.
This is not, as Jason said, a president who understands what leadership is.
Oh, he doesn't understand it. He just won a landslide. He's been leading all over the world, as well as in our own country. He just got passed a massive bill that nobody said could get passed. We've never seen anything like it. He doesn't know what leadership's all about. Now, I, Mr. No Name out of Massachusetts, I know what leadership's all about. And your name? Seth Moulton. Oh. Go ahead.
Because leadership is bringing people together.
Oh, and that's what the Democrats always do. Illegal aliens and Marxists. They bring them together all the time. It's a fascinating thing. Yes, when I think of the Democrats, I always think about unity, don't you? Let's bring together the people, whether they like it or not. Go ahead.
Leadership is about showing people a positive way forward, even when you have differences. Jason and I were both platoon commanders on the ground.
Okay, got it. And you may have been the greatest platoon commanders ever, but you're the crappiest politicians on the face of the earth. This is the problem. This is the problem. It doesn't necessarily carry forward if you were great at something else, business or military activity, or something, that you're a great politician. So they're platoon commanders, and for this we credit them and we thank them. But they're left-wing Democrat politicians, and in that regard, they suck. Go ahead.
In Afghanistan for him, in Iraq for me, and we had remarkably diverse platoons. Amazing Americans from all over this country with different religious beliefs, different political beliefs, and yet at the end of the day, we were able to set aside those differences to do what's right for the country.
Okay, hold on a second. These two vote with the Democrats every step of the way. Did they not vote against the bill? Yes. Tell me, have you ever heard of these two before? No. Are they standouts like this guy Fetterman, who's really been quite remarkable in what he tries to do and so forth? They pretend they're moderates, they're not moderates. They were platoon commanders, and that's very good. But when it comes to politics, they are left-wing Democrats. They vote the same way as Tlaib. She wasn't a platoon commander, unless she was for the enemy. Omar wasn't a platoon commander. Bernie Sanders wasn't a platoon commander. These radical, hardcore Marxists and Islamists who they vote with almost all the time, and I say almost, maybe all the time, they weren't platoon commanders. And so does that mean we can't criticize these two? We're not asking them about their leadership when they were platoon commanders. And again, I say, God bless them. I never did it. And that's a fantastic thing they did. We're talking about now their votes and their activities in the political world. Go ahead.
What's right for the country was not voting for...
Yeah, that's good enough.
For all this and much more, sign up for Levin TV.